Ever wondered how much sunshine your home could be turning into energy? Solar power is no longer a far-off solution, but a practical, affordable reality for many homeowners. Here's a step-by-step guide to designing a home solar system, using a typical suburban house as an example. First up, assessing energy needs. To determine how much energy a solar system should produce, look at past electricity bills. For our example house, we'll take a look at its yearly utility bills and calculate the average daily and monthly energy consumption. Next, evaluating the roof. The roof is the most common location for solar panels, so it's important to assess its suitability. Factors to consider include the roof's orientation, tilt, and shading from nearby trees or buildings. Once the roof is deemed suitable, it's time to choose the right solar panels. There are different types of panels available, such as monocrystalline, polycrystalline, and thin film. Each type has its own advantages and disadvantages, so it's important to do some research and choose the best option for your specific needs. After selecting the panels, it's time to determine the optimal placement. The panels should be installed in a location that maximizes sunlight exposure throughout the day. This may involve adjusting the tilt and orientation of the panels to capture the most sunlight. Now let's talk about the inverter. The inverter is an essential component of a solar system as it converts the direct current, DC, generated by the panels into alternating current, AC, that can be used to power your home. There are different types of inverters available, including string inverters, microinverters, and power optimizers. Each type has its own advantages and disadvantages, so it's important to choose the right one for your system. Once the inverter is chosen, it's time to consider the electrical wiring and connections. The solar panels need to be properly wired to the inverter and connected to the electrical grid. It's important to hire a qualified electrician to ensure the wiring is done safely and according to local building codes. Finally, don't forget about permits and incentives. Before installing a solar system, it's important to check with your local authorities about any permits or approvals required. Additionally, there may be financial incentives available, such as tax credits or rebates, that can help offset the cost of installing a solar system. By following these steps, you can design a home solar system that meets your energy needs and helps reduce your carbon footprint. So why wait? Start harnessing the power of the sun and enjoy the benefits of clean, renewable energy. Next, it's time to look at available space and orientation. The roof is the most common place for solar panels, and for good reason. It's high, usually unobstructed, and gets ample sunlight. The example house's roof will be examined for its size, shape, and orientation. Ideally, solar panels should face south in the northern hemisphere for maximum sunlight exposure. Once energy needs and available space are clear, calculating the system size becomes easier. For our example, we'll use the average daily energy usage and the average hours of sunlight to calculate the required system size in kilowatts. Now comes the interesting part: selecting solar panels and components. There's a range to choose from: monocrystalline, polycrystalline, and thin film, each with its pros and cons. For our example, we'll discuss which type is the best fit. And don't forget about other essential components like inverters and mounting hardware. Budgeting and financing options are an important consideration. Solar systems can have a significant upfront cost, but the savings on electricity bills can make it a worthwhile investment. For our example house, we'll break down the costs and discuss potential savings. There are also several financing options, incentives, and rebates that can make solar energy more affordable. The question then arises: hire a professional or go the DIY route? Both have their advantages. A professional installer can ensure the system is set up correctly and safely, but DIY installation can save on costs. For our example, we'll weigh up the pros and cons. Finally, maintenance and monitoring. Solar panels require little maintenance, but occasional cleaning can keep them performing at their best. It's also important to monitor the system's energy production to ensure it's working efficiently. To summarize, designing a home solar system involves assessing energy needs, determining available space, calculating system size, selecting panels and components, considering budget and financing options, deciding between professional installation or DIY, and planning for maintenance and monitoring. It's a journey towards energy independence and sustainability, and it starts with a single ray of sunshine.